Hi, my name is Steve Mast, and I'm the President and Chief Innovation Officer here at Delvinio, which is a global research tech company. We're back again with our fourth installment on monitoring the interest of virtual millennials during the COVID pandemic. And yes, I'm here with my good friends at Persona Panels once again. Today, due to the COVID-19 outbreak, brands are walking this thin line between helping and selling, offering their products and services in a time where people are really looking for help versus maybe the actual product or service they provide. Last week, we examined the messaging from the CDC. And this week, we're going to take a look at how a brand, Frito-Lay in this case, to see how it's played out with millennial animated personas. So let me turn it over to Mike, who's going to dig deeper into the insights.
Thanks, Steve. Let's begin with an understanding of what animated personas are all about. They are built with machine learning in mind and can represent segments of consumers or any targeted group that is of interest to a company. Many times, we will take a company's segmentation data and then create animated personas. But if that isn't available, we can use other primary survey data and even secondary data. The bottom line is there are many ways to build animated personas. The key is that while traditional segments are built from data that ages over time and really isn't continually used for research projects for that matter, animated personas always represent data that is current. And in terms of what animated personas can do once they are built, they can look at a company's messages, concepts, and ideas and indicate interest as well as the importance of the specific information being reviewed, right down to the sentence that serves as the key insight in the entire piece. It's quantitative in nature with a qualitative flair, with results that can be repeated as often as you want and seen immediately in an incredibly cost-effective way that firmly supports ROI. Today, we're going to look at 6 of our animated personas that represent the totality of millennials for Generation Y. And we're going to have them look at a message provided by Frito-Lay. Companies, like the rest of us, are not behaving like they typically do. This is evident in the way that they're trying to promote their products while not losing sight of the fact that COVID-19 is dominating most aspects of people's lives these days. As such, their messages in TV, print, and social media are very different in nature. Persona Panels wanted to explore these differences, and using a recent message from Frito-Lay, we looked at how our 6 millennial animated personas evaluated the interest and importance of the information, along with key insights that rose to the top. The findings reveal that what is interesting is not always important. Let's take a look. As you can see on the right, here's the message that was reviewed by 6 millennial animated personas, and it really consists of 3 areas. Introductory language that you see in black, some specific details about what Frito-Lay is actually doing in green, and a few concluding remarks in red. At first glance, the meat of it would appear to be the information in green, and later on, we'll see whether that's indeed true. As far as general interest goes with respect to the complete message created by Frito-Lay, it was not seen in a uniform manner by our 6 millennial animated personas. Do the Right Thing millennials, Tech Geek millennials, and millennial moms each were above 50% interest, led by the latter group at 84%. Environmental millennials, Don't Call Me a Millennial, and millennials in name only each were below 40%. All in all, this information resonated with some in terms of interest, while others turned somewhat of a blind eye to what Frito-Lay was saying. We've covered interest among our 6 millennial animated personas by having them review the entirety of the information from Frito-Lay, and now we will turn to the importance of the content by looking at it in 3 different areas. Introductory language that sets up the main thrust of the message. the real details surrounding what Frito-Lay is doing as a good corporate citizen, and some concluding remarks, including next steps they would like people to take. And the results are crystal clear. Each of the 6 millennial animated personas found the introductory language and the concluding remarks to be not at all important. Whereas the opposite was true with respect to the specific activities Frito-Lay has undertaken to try to provide relief to those who are suffering. Essentially, what the millennial animated personas were saying to Frito-Lay en masse was, our real focus is on what you've done and what you're doing, not about the fact that the world needs brands to take action or that you're not changing your logo. Now that we know the specific information contained in the Frito-Lay content that was deemed to be of importance to the 6 millennial animated personas, let's take a deeper dive to see where the real insights actually reside. As you can see, we've divided the specific activities Frito-Lay has undertaken into 4 groups: creating 3,000 new full-time jobs with benefits, donating over 15 million towards relief efforts across North America, providing 20 million nutritious meals for at-risk students and families with Food for Good, No Kid Hungry, Baylor University, and the USDA, and funding mobile health clinics across the US to provide COVID-19 screenings for the public. The results leave nothing to the imagination, in that of all the efforts put forth by Frito-Lay, providing 20 million nutritious meals was seen as a key insight beyond the others by 5 of the 6 millennial animated personas. The exception being that funding mobile health clinics was found to be a key insight by Do the Right Thing Millennials. Creating 3,000 new full-time jobs, donating over 15 million toward relief efforts, and funding mobile health clinics for the most part was not a key insight. A complement to determining the key insights for the 6 millennial animated personas is the creation of a value index, measuring the percentage drop in interest when a key component is not featured. For tech geek millennials, millennial moms, environmental millennials, Don't Call Me a Millennial, and Millennials in Name Only, each experienced more than a 50% drop in interest when providing 20 million nutritious meals for at-risk students and families with Food for Good, No Kid Hungry, Baylor University, and the USDA was not included in their evaluation. Do the Right Thing Millennials found the activity funding mobile health clinics across the US to provide COVID-19 screenings for the public to be the key insight they did not want to see eliminated, since it produced a 32% drop in interest for them. Lastly, here are the remaining percentage drops for the other activities when they were not included in what millennial animated personas were evaluating. And you can see the differences between how content is looked at when information is not featured. While many produce a slight drop in interest, it is clear that the focal point is definitely providing 20 million nutritious meals for at-risk students. Interest, importance, and key insights, culminating in the value of content seen when it's eliminated, all come together to tell the story of how information is truly seen, in this case, through the eyes of millennial animated personas. It provides companies with a great understanding of critical content, and just as important, can be accomplished quickly and inexpensively. And with that, I'll turn it back over to Steve.
Thanks, Mike. That was fantastic. Great insights. I really hope that Frito-Lay and other brands can look at this data and potentially use it in some positive way. We had a great response last week from all of you signing up for our weekly reports. We'll continue to ship those out. And once again, if you're looking for, if this is the first time you've seen these videos, sign up for the report. We'll send you those on a weekly basis. Until then, I'll be back next week with my friends at Persona Panels. Stay safe and stay well.